Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ōkami walkthrough. So, we've pretty much done everything that we can do in Webkit for the time being. So, let's speak to Kai, and she is most likely going to lead us to Yoshpet. Or Yoshpet, as I should probably call it, as that is actually its name. But, before we actually head off to Yoshpet, there is something that we are actually going to deal with, and that is the area to the north of Webkit. And that is Ezofuji itself. Now, really I should probably leave going to Ezofuji until after we've dealt with the stuff in Yoshpet. But the thing is that we want to go there now, so that we can collect everything. Because if we don't, then potentially some things could go missing if we progress the story much further. There is a point before we actually deal with anything properly in Ezofuji where you'd be able to deal with this type of stuff. But yeah. We're going to head to Ezofuji first, I believe. Because we actually do need to go. Because we need a crest to open the place up. So it all works out in the end. And now if you're wondering why I'm turning this place to night so that we, don't have any music, it's so that I can grab all of the dig spots. Just in case I missed any, although I don't think I did. I think I might have actually gotten all, if not the majority of them. So, seeing as we are heading up to Ezofuji, I should probably talk about what it's based on. So, Ezofuji is basically Mount Yotei, which in Japanese is Yotei-zan, which is literally Sheep Hoof Mountain. And it's an active stratovolcano located in Shikotsu Toya National Park, Hokkaido, Japan. So it's kind of on the left-hand side of Hokkaido. Its other names in real life are Ezofuji or Ezofuji, which is obviously where this version gets its name from. Ezo being an old name for the island of Hokkaido, because it resembles the more famous Mount Fuji. So it's basically the Ezo bit is the name of the island, the Fuji is Mount Fuji, so you get Hokkaido's Fuji, essentially, is what I think the name equates to. The mountain is apparently also known as Makari Nippuri and Mount Shiribeshi. And it is actually one of the 100 famous mountains in Japan. And apparently it is mostly composed of andesite and dacite. I believe that's how you pronounce those. The stratovolcano is symmetrical, which means it resembles Mount Fuji even more. Now, apparently, teprochronology indicates 2 eruptions at Mount Yotei, the most recent circa 1050 BC, from a cone emerging from the northwest flank of the mountain at Lake Hangetsu. The early eruption is dated from circa 3550 BC. So it's been a very, very long time since Mount Yotei erupted, which I guess is why it's very, very suitable for Ōkami. Because we're dealing here with a volcano that hasn't erupted, and it really needs to, otherwise everyone's going to die because they're going to freeze to death. Because that's always fun, isn't it? But yes, what we are going to do on Ezofuji here is get this crest and also deal with everything that's about here. Deal with all the animals and get our final upgraded brush technique, actually. Because I believe that is hidden around here somewhere. We need a lot of yen for it, but we will deal with that, don't you worry. And there is a shrine here, which, as you can probably guess, is the Waoku Shrine is our next proper dungeon, really. So, if you want to make sure that you collect everything in Ezofuji, you can either do it now, which I would recommend, or you can leave it until you're about to enter the Waoku Shrine. Now this right here is Tuskel, and she is going to tell us even more about what's going on. Because reasons. Really, really nice touch is that she's got a silver owl and a golden owl on either side of her hat. And that is, quite importantly, well, it references the twin demons that we need to deal with. Now, with Tuskel, this is the first character that this person drew when they joined the Ōkami team. Initially, her name was Omo Hikane, and she existed separately from Tuskel. Omo Hikane means God of Knowledge, so I tied her design to owls. Eventually the scenario had Tuskel and Omo Hikane combine and become what you see today. The owls on her head are indeed alive, and it is quite possible that they are the ones doing the actual talking instead of Tuskel, which is kind of creepy when you think about it. But still rather cool. Now, I believe that this other picture that's in the art book is of before she became Omo Hikane. She's in like a pink robe and it's very un-owl-like. But what we're getting told about here is the Ark of Yamato and a celestial ship that apparently crashed, bringing with it hundreds of thousands of monsters. And just, oh, it's awful. So apparently, there was one man who survived it. I wonder how, and I wonder who it is. Maybe we'll find out someday. Maybe we won't. We'll just have to see. Now you can listen to the story again and again if you want, but it's certainly not necessary. Once you've got the Soa Prolo, you can just carry on with your journey and actually head to Yoshpet and deal with that whole thing. And I feel I should probably bring up the fact that we have the resurrection beads and that they are glorious. Now, these are... oh, these might not be the most powerful... these aren't the most powerful beads in the game. Those are waiting for us a little bit later on, actually. I just had a bit of a blank at the end of the last part. I was just like, yeah, these are the strongest. I'm just like, actually no, because there's another stage to all of the weapons. So we've got basically the penultimate reflector, the penultimate beads. We haven't got the penultimate sword, well, glaive yet, but we'll be getting that reasonably soon. Although, frustratingly, I think we're actually going to get the final glaive before we get the penultimate glaive, just because of the way my yen situation works. Because I'm going to be using pretty much the rest of my yen on this. Because 3 lots of 120,000 yen will get you the most powerful power slash. So, you best have been saving up. And then, frustratingly, there's not really a whole lot of opportunity to make a lot of money before we get to the next shop, which is where the next glaive is, and that's why I ended up in the situation I did. But there we go. That is all bar one of our brush techniques fully sorted out. So we've really come a long way. And I quite like that Power Slash is pretty much one of the last things that you will ever deal with. Because obviously it was the second brush technique that we ever got. And at the end of the day, it's the one that you've probably used the most. So it's great in my eyes. And oh, for God's sake! One more? Really? Ugh! Stop taunting me like this game, seriously! I mean, really, I shouldn't be moaning. At this point, I've already gotten more praise than I ever got on the first time I played this game, and to be perfectly honest, most people probably would never bother trying to get this much praise. But there is a really, really nice little thing that you can do with your praise. So if you have already fully upgraded everything, getting extra praise actually converts to yen. So even after you've fully upgraded everything, there is still a worthwhile thing to do with getting your praise, because it converts into yen. And obviously more yen means more health items, it means you can get those weapons if you want them, it means you can get all of the moves, and so on and so forth. So it's a very, very useful thing to do. And I would certainly recommend it, because there are a whole bunch of things that are really worthwhile. And I mean, specifically, that would be the final rosaries. Because, I mean, the final rosaries are, like, godly. And I seriously do mean that. They are phenomenally good. And pretty much are going to be my weapon of choice once we get them. Because they are so gosh darn powerful. And now I believe I am looking... There we go. Another Konohana Blossom. Just got to climb slowly but surely all the way up to the top. And just loads and loads of clovers. Like, they really, really put the, give you the praise on thick. I don't know why. I think it's because they thought, well, you're getting right into the end of the game now, so we want to make it as easy as possible for you to collect, well, level up to the fullest. There's no real need for them to do this, but I'm fine with it. It makes exploring this area a lot more fun than it would be otherwise. Because otherwise, you'd just be dealing with looking at these things and just going, oh, there's not a whole lot going on here. This is a little bit depressing. Either that, or you'd just be like, this place is really boring. And we don't want that. Also, I find it really bizarre that there are two stray beads so close to each other. It really is like they just thought, we need to pack this place with everything possible. so that people explore it and get the most out of the final area. Because I mean, I suppose visually it's a bit samey, or it can feel very samey. So, I mean, I get that, but either way, I think I may have made a slight mistake. If not, we have to go over here and then kind of Hana Blossom up to that higher place. I think I am probably correct on that. But this is a nifty little thing. You have to use the fiery chest to open the frozen chest, and then you have to get rid of the fiery chest. It's a nice little touch. And that's another stray bead! 3! In one area! What?! It's baffling when you think about it. And then we've got another clover! They really, really do want you to be fully leveled up. Like, I mean, you can just see it by the amount of stuff they're giving you. I mean, part of me wants to say that they're thinking that, oh, it's Ezofuji, so it's all got good stuff in it and all of that jazz, but I don't think it has anything to do with the actual mountain. Now, you can see this area here, but we can't actually get to it by running. No, we have to use the mist warp trick that we learned a while ago, and if used to get to one or two inaccessible locations. I do like that you can actually see it on the map, therefore you know that you can get to it via that. But annoyingly, the only great origin mirror that we can really, well, that we know about near here is all the way at the front of Webgear, so we kind of have to head there to be able to get into that area and out again. Still, it's a small price to pay when we're going to be getting, I believe, even more praise. And hopefully that means that we may be getting close, maybe? Please? To fully upgrading everything. Otherwise it'll be like the middle of, like, maybe the next part after that, more likely. By the time we've upgraded everything, I just kind of want to be done now. And oh look, there's a lovely bear. And oh god, I can see it now. We're going to be off by like 50 praise or something. Okay, no, it's going to be more than 50. But we've got a lovely white porcelain pot. We have another stray bead, because why the hell not? And over here we have a silver pocket watch. So, lovely expensive things if you want more yen. Yay! But that pretty much covers everything that we can do in Ezofuji for now. So we just need to head all the way to Yoshpet and actually kick the end of the game into high gear, because there really, really is very, very little left in the way of side quests. It's time to basically finish this. Near enough, anyway.